He's got a past like Total's tail. I remember the Great Harbour Rescue. There's Total in it. It was made in 1989. Do you have that golden book Spike? Yes, I do, Twilight. Were you wanting to read it? Oh, yes, please. Casey Jr., the Circus Engine and Fence, Series 1, Episode 10. Casey Jr.'s Rail School. Hello, Tilly. Howdy. Hello, Casey Jr. I haven't told you this tale of when I was learning on staying on the rails instead of off them. Tell me then, sweetie, by the way, did you keep it a secret, your tale? Yes, I have. It goes like this, back in the 40s. Far, far to the east of America is a village called Ecclehedge. All the engines go there to learn to be big engines. They steam up and down the tracks trying to make the long sad toot of the big engines. But the best they can do is a small total. Ecclehedge Railway is a fine school for engines. There are lessons in whistle blowing, stopping for a red flag, waving, puffing lightly when starting, coming round curves safely, screeching when stopping, and clicking and clacking over the rails. Of all the things that are taught in Ecclehedge School for engines, the most important is, of course, is staying on the rails, no matter what. The head of the school is Mr. Rash. He's worked here for years. He tells the new engines that he will not get angry if they spill the tea pulling the diner, or if the food was knocked out. But they will never, never be good engines unless they get 100 A+ in staying on the rails, no matter what. All the engines knew that was an ultimate test, doing a practice to get 100 A+, and they can't get off the rails. One day, a new engine came to school. His name was Casey Jr. He was a circus engine who retired the circus train. Mr. Rush had never seen the engine before, let alone he didn't know his whereabouts. "Hello," he said. "Who are you?" "I'm Casey Jr. It's nice to see you coming here. Since I visited a railway where the circus train is, well, I just retired. Retired? Oh, well. Who took your place?" Casey Jr.'s mouth went down. I think if you want to know why I've retired, sir, can you not tell anyone that I'm moving? I'm living in Tasman Sodor. What makes you say this? I feel forgotten, and I was put in a museum during my days of when my first days were, well, not good, and it's old Smokey that's taken my place. I see. Well, I think you might stay here before moving on. How'd you like to take the diner train? I'd like to do that. So he was taken in. He was learning this new difference of where he was staying. He was taking this lesson, whistle blowing, puffing loudly when stopping, puffing loudly when starting, stopping for red flag, waving, and pulling the diner without spilling the tea. Most of all, he had to stay on the rails, no matter what. But to Mr. Rush's surprise, Casey Jr. showed him he already got a 100 A plus a long time ago. When he was in his first railway, so he knew he had already learned. One day, Casey Jr. was having thoughts before he got ready to take the diner train. He was passing a meadow where he could see a field. Now he had a secret too. He didn't tell Mr. Rush he couldn't go off railing because he knew he had to stay on the rails no matter what. But he has known not to do it for years, and for once he didn't tell anyone about it but me in Australia. I can do it when I haven't got a train on me, he told himself. He was already finished, and he went off the rails and into the meadow. He came to the river. It was very nice and quiet. This is the life, he told himself. I do like to look at the forest river. He went back to school and said nothing about leaving the rails. Tomorrow I best leave. I can't stay here. Today, you'll know that, sir. You've done the train fine so far, so I think it's best you leave. I heard about your tale when you escaped the museum, so I'll not tell anyone when I let you go. As planned, he left. The next day, Casey Jr. left to get to Tasman Sodor. The engines were sad to see him go, but knew they had to keep his secret safe. Every day, Casey Jr. visits railways. He was not wanting to stay in America because Control wanted to know why he is retired. The circus train because whatever their little train was doing, it was something they weren't caring much. He went onwards till he came to the woods. I'm a secret lover. Nobody knows about it, but it's better they don't. At the police station, Mr. Dangle was telling the police that his museum piece had escaped. That engine, whatever he's doing, is to be taken to the scrapyard. Yes, Mr. Dangle, we know. When we tried to ask him why he retired the circus train, all he tells us is that he hasn't had a birthday for years. We never give him one, because, well, he's not meant to have one. He's an orphan. We've been getting many calls that he's been visiting railways to do work, then moves on. But of course you can see America wasn't having much care of Casey Jr. They knew he was like Mr. Dangle. Said an orphan. But we think he's an engine that likes to have new life. He came to the woods and went through to a railway he'd never been to. This is a lost railway in the middle of the mountains. Inside was a blue engine. Hello, she said. Who are you? I'm Casey Jr. Who are you? I'm Tilly. I'm just moving. Don't tell anyone where I am. Bye then. He had a look at the place. It was late afternoon, so he went to rest in Tilly's berth. Night came, and he was waking up to move on. Right, time to move on. It's a good thing this railway's empty. Why is there some light in the sky? My goodness, there's a police helicopter after me. I'll lose her in the woods. I'm heading. Oh! Oh! Hey, hey! Free at last! Casey Jr. wins again. I'm free, I'm free. Here I am in England. This is where I'm to find another forest, where the other buffers would lead me to Tasman's Shoulder. But I just hope I don't get caught. Hello, engine. You're new here. Howdy, officer. I'm just visiting a railway. Percy told me about the Bluebell Railway. Do you know where I can find it? Yeah. You find it beside the wall. Thanks. Goodbye. You didn't know my whereabouts. Hey? Not knows whereabouts? What is he up to? Ah, here's the woods I can get into. Huh? Uh-oh. Where is that engine? Where's he gone? Can't see him anywhere. Oh, just in time. I'm in Australia. Hello, Casey Jr. Glad you can make it. Howdy, Percy. I thought I could meet you. Come on, let's take you to Slurping Lane. Follow me. Thanks. Wow, that's some tale. Yeah, Teddy. I remember that time when I was escaping in 2015. Mind if we have a sleepover? Yes, please. We haven't had one for years.